Hey guys, it's Oliver.
And it's Luca.
And today we have a bit of a sad topic. The Quest 1 is officially dead.
Okay, so you guys may have already heard a lot of people talk about how the Quest 1 is dying. It's practically dead at this point, and Quest as a whole is slowly dying. Now, at this point, we'd like to say the Quest 1 is officially dead. There's no recovering it. It's gone. Meta doesn't want to recover it. New people only go to the Quest 2 as the Quest 1 can't really even be found anymore. It is dead. We are sorry to anyone who has it like us, but it's officially dead.
The news kind of happened as a bit of a shock. On the 29th of July, Meta posted a public document and emailed it to everybody saying that it's officially ending support for Population 1 on the Quest 1.
Yes.
And that is when everybody's heads kind of turned a little and we're kind of confused in what's going on. And we've made a video before saying that the Quest 1 is dying, but it was still alive at the time. All we were saying was that all the new games are no longer being supported, or not all, a lot, some. But now it's it, that's it.
Yeah. All games are starting to be Quest 2 only. Games you already have are gonna be removed from your headset. They will literally just take them away.
As of October 1st of this year, so as of recording, that's a month and 2 weeks-ish.
That's only the first step, though. It starts with Population 1, and they're slowly going to move on to other games. And at this point, most games aren't even being uploaded there. So you're really missing out on a lot being on the Quest 1 already. And Meta doesn't care.
Yeah.
Meta doesn't care for all the people who originally got their headsets, who originally started up their company, their division, not company, their division of Facebook, Meta, or at the time it was Oculus. They don't care about the Quest 1. They're hiding it on their Instagram and all their social medias. They don't post about it because they don't want people to even remember it.
Which is weird, because it was such a success, and it made them what they are now.
Yeah.
We're their beta testers, which sounds weird, but that's what
I got
it was.
mine on release, because I was like, this is the most genius idea ever. If VR is easily acceptable, people will want it. But now, I get it. There's a lot more competition, but still, that's no reason to be getting more aggressive with your own customers by forcing them onto a new headset, which originally they said was going to be like $100 cheaper, is now again $100 more expensive right after this change.
Yes, so right at the same time as they sent out this email and published this, they made the Quest to $100 more. Actually, that was $100 US, so like 150 Canadian dollars more expensive. So it kind of sucks. Like, we're kind of worried now because Population 1 is one of our most favorite games.
Yeah.
And it
what's
really
next?
sucks. Yeah, what's next? What is next?
Well, it could literally be anything.
Anything.
Any multiplayer game is gonna probably start being Quest 2 only. And they may have only done Population 1 since it was the most popular game, really.
Exactly.
But they're definitely gonna do more. And they're definitely gonna limit to how much can be on the Quest 1. At this point, you're probably asking yourself, well, how much of a difference there is between the Quest 2 and Quest 1 to where this is happening. And there isn't that much. The Quest 2 is much more powerful, but not enough to warrant the Quest 1 to pretty much be killed off.
Exactly.
Like the PS4 and PS5, the PS5 is much more powerful, but does that mean the PS4 is obsolete?
No, not at all.
Yeah, they're still getting games. And it's not like PlayStation literally removed games from the PS4 because of their PS5, because that's stupid and should never be done.
Exactly. Now, as they stated, as what they said, was that the Quest 1 was holding back their development, which I can understand if it's not as powerful. However, you're literally taking away a game that we paid money for it, and they're saying, yeah, you can have a refund if you bought it within, I think they said
6 months.
6 months, yeah. we've had the game since the beginning.
Yeah.
So, no, it's not been since 6 months. Aside from that, I don't want to return it, even if I could, because it is now more expensive than it was when we got it.
Yeah.
But, I bought something and I can't use it anymore as of October 1st. So it doesn't really make any sense. And, yeah, as we said, this is just the beginning. It's gonna happen, we think, more often. And if you think about it, that kind of makes you think a little bit about what exactly is going to happen in the future of Meta. Are they going to continue doing this? Is the Quest 2, once the Quest 3 releases, is it going to have about a year of life until they start removing games from it?
Yeah, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, the headset's old. It's not that old at all.
I think
it was obsolete like a year ago, according to them, which would mean that the headset's only 3 years old and it's dead. Why is its lifespan 3 years? I get that technology's moving fast, but you should never make something that's meant, especially for the price, to be killed off in a couple of years if you don't connect it to a PC, which ruins the point. Don't buy an Oculus, like we said, if you're going to use it for all sorts of high PC games. If you're really into VR and you really want to get into doing more PC games that are more powerful, then you should go buy a much more powerful headset for PC. Oculus Quest is not that. So it being connected to a PC is like a last-ditch effort to use it. And people who are on Mac, like Oliver, well, newer Macs, that, unless they want to spend like $100-ish to get Windows and not a proper version of Windows, won't be able to use their headsets. Or people who the whole point is like, they don't have something like that to use, then it really messes up. And this isn't like a couple of people. People are like, oh, the Oculus Quest is old. But the Oculus Quest sold millions of copies.
Many. And they're still one of the most popular VR headsets. It's still one of them. And it's gonna be gone. You literally won't be able to use it. And it's actually funny because I'm surprised that other games haven't already been discontinued already, but now that this one happened, I think it's gonna happen really fast with the others. I, for one, am very concerned about Beat Saber, because I have a feeling that is what's gonna go next, because I see Beat Saber adding a lot of new stuff, and Beat Saber is not exactly a very graphic-intensive game like Population 1 is, so I could slightly understand it with Population 1, but not in the way that they're doing it. That doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. And therefore, it's just a bit sad because the Quest 1 is still a very usable headset, and to just kill it off in at least such a stupid and non-respectful way is not very cool.
Yeah, honestly. For literally 317,000 headsets were sold in 2019.
That was at launch.
That was at launch. And there's many more people who bought it. Meaning there are literally hundreds of thousands of people out there who are getting screwed over because Meta wants simply to make more money with their Quest 2. And I get it, they could be more powerful, but like with the PlayStation 4 games, just make a weaker version of it. Not every single update has to be as powerful for every single version, for every single headset.
Exactly.
And honestly, hearing all this news has made me lose almost all respect I had for Meta.
Yeah.
Ever since they changed their name to Meta from Oculus, you could tell they're gonna change. And they changed it. And it really sucks for most of us.
You could just go off and say, why don't you just buy a Quest 2? And, well, to that I have two answers. One, they're still very expensive. Yes, VR is getting much cheaper and much more affordable than it was before, but it still is expensive.
Well, with this price hike...
Now it's even more expensive.
Yeah.
And two, I shouldn't have to upgrade when it can work on my old Quest 1. Especially is now, I don't know if I want to upgrade because I'm concerned about them doing this to the next headset.
And if the Oculus Quest 1 had 3-year lifespan, what will the next one have? What will the one after that have?
The Quest 2, I believe, is now in year 2, right?
Yeah.
Or 1.5.
Meta's only doing this. They only bought them because, Oculus is evolving. And, not Oculus, but virtual reality is evolving and they want to get a piece of that. Now that it's starting to become less worth it for them, a lot more competition, they might just stop entirely. Stop caring for this division of their company entirely just because they're not making as much money. They are slowing down, and they decided, well, that's it for us. That's it for at the moment. They're killing off the Quest 1.
Exactly. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's like you kind of have to have your own opinion on it. I think a lot of people don't like when something they have gets discontinued. But the thing is, this was so fast, such a short lifespan, that it doesn't make any sense. People get mad at Apple for discontinuing their phones. But even those phones have a 5, 6, 7 year lifespan. Even just those phones. This Quest lasted 3.5 years or something like that.
Almost nothing compared to the PlayStations, to every other console. Its lifespan was short, and it didn't need to be. That's my biggest issue. It didn't need to be stopped. It didn't need to be They didn't have to screw it over. They did because they wanted to. And they did it for profits and profits on their Quest 2. And that's not cool.
Exactly. I can understand how they want to make money. I get that. And I can understand that eventually a device will get obsolete and they do have to discontinue it. But it was such a short lifespan. And even, I download all sorts of games from, for example, SideQuest. I do that a lot. And those can be graphic-intensive games or crazy things with a lot of power needed from the Quest. And it can handle it. Yes, maybe not as many frames per second. Yes, maybe not on max graphics settings. But I can still play the game. And I don't care if I'm not able to play Population 1 on max graphic. If I can still play it with everybody, I'd be happy. But they're completely removing it altogether. And it kind of sucks. So honestly, that's what we think about it.
Before we end this, I think it's really important to say, should you give up on the Quest 1? And further on that, should you give up on Meta as a company? And honestly, Oculus Quest, I think, is a perfect name, which I'll explain in just a moment. Should you give up on Oculus Quest? No. If you have a PC, it can still be used. If you have single-player games, it can still be used. If you have low graphics, like Rec Room type of games, it can still be used. A lot of functionality still, but it's over. It's over for getting something new and better. It's done with that. And Quest as a whole, this is a sort of red strike, a warning to anyone who thinks that their headsets will always, especially people with Quest 2 or the newest headset, will always be good and work for much longer. We don't know. If it's only been 3 years on their first headset, and not even their first line of headsets like what I had, but Oliver, who has a newer version of the headset, is being kind of thrown in the dust, then there's no chance. It's really, definitely don't buy Quest 1 if you haven't already. Quest 2, like we said before, it's not worth it because a Quest 3 will show up, or Quest Pro, and they'll just keep doing that. At the moment,
we're not saying to completely strike them and not buy anything because they have absolutely amazing headsets. What we're saying is just watch out because so far it's not looking too good.
If you're planning on if you're really hoping to get as much use out of a console out of your Oculus or Meta, then don't expect that. It will not happen. Your headset will be obsolete to them, at least in a couple of years, at least in the near future.
Or that is what we think. We could be wrong.
Well, Oculus Quest, their Pro seems, what they're even saying is the Pro's gonna make the 2 obsolete entirely. As they're showing it, they're showing the much power, and they have a power hike each time for them. But it kind of leaves the other headset in the dust, which I'm not, like we were saying, we're not a huge fan of that. Now, quickly, before anything else, I'm going to go back to what I was saying, why I like calling the first Quest the Oculus Quest, because that's what it was. The Oculus Quest, I'd say the Meta Quest 2, because that's what they're calling it now, is really two different consoles. It was made with two different sets in mind. The Quest 1 was to push boundaries on what you could make. The Quest 2 was to make money and sell more headsets.
Exactly.
And I think that really is the only set and only mindset that Facebook has when doing anything with VR further on.
Which sucks a bit because they have a very revolutionary product and it works very well. Everything goes, or did. I mean, well, it's still, the first one did. The other one still does. But that's the thing. That's the other one. So, anyway, that's our take on that. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. And, yeah. That's it for the Quest 1. That's about it. We're going to try and make as much VR content as we can until it's not even usable anymore at this point, which is getting closer to that. But we're questioning whether or not we are supposed to end up upgrading or
That's really the biggest thing here, and probably the thing that's the most important conversation here. Is it worth upgrading to a new Quest? Yes, you'll get to keep your games, but what's the games if you have to buy a $600 Canadian headset every 3 years? What's the point of that?
Exactly.
Instead of just buying something like a new console, you have to rebuy your games and probably completely redo login, meaning all your stuff will probably be lost. But in exchange, you'll have a headset that won't die out in a couple of years. Like all the old Vive stuff, those have been working and still do work for years on years. At least from what I've heard, from my quick research, headsets like that connect to PCs last really, really long.
Exactly. But that's not necessarily the point of the Quest 1. You don't necessarily want it to be connected to a PC or a Quest 2 as well. It's supposed to be what it's marketed as a standalone headset. You don't even need your phone anymore, actually. You don't even need it to set up. Now it's completely alone. So connecting it to a PC is not exactly what it was supposed to be for. And if you make it so that that's the only thing it's able to do, kind of sucks a bit.
Yeah. We're gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it on a bit of a higher note. The Oculus Quest 1, when it came out, was literally the greatest headset at the time.
It was.
And it still is, I argue, really important to VR as a whole because it showed people's interest. It showed how great the headset really was. And it showed how much more fun games could be in VR. I think the Oculus Quest 1 was a huge turning point because after that, people really got invested in VR. Not little things like the PSVR, but full on really trying as hard as they can now that there was a real competitor and a real chance. I think the Quest 1 was the most important VR headset to, at this moment, release. Not the best in forever, but it's the best, not the best, the most important headset to come out of Meta.
Yeah, so that's that. Thank you guys for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments about this whole situation.
Yep. And remember, don't commit tax fraud in California.
Thank you guys.
Goodbye.